Hey guys, welcome to the RIOT podcast.
Hopefully everybody had a wonderful weekend.
Yes. So what I have here for our podcast today is I made it a little shorter. What I noticed as I was going back through it, and even in the middle of the show, is that there's a particular tone to the show today. Man, I tried not to. I really tried, but it just, the thing is, if you spend enough time talking...
A tone's just going to happen.
Things start to come out.
We just don't want it to be a mean tone.
Was it mean? Do you think there was meanness?
I didn't think you liked anything. If I was just joining in.
No, you know what?
We got to pepper it with some things that we enjoy, except for we talked about the new Lucky Charms cookie dough.
We liked that.
We liked that, but outside of it, it was pretty much the only.
We liked Pacific Rim.
Yeah.
I liked that.
Yeah, I guess, but like mainstream likes. Cookie dough, yes. Pacific Rim animated series on Netflix,
I'll
maybe
tell you
not.
This, I took some things out. And
even when Obi's feelings on the WandaVision season finale was just meh.
You know what? Here's real talk. This, I don't think I left this in the show. I'm just depressed right now. I just am. And I know what you think that means. I know you think that means that I'm crying a lot. It's not like that.
Just meh for everything?
It is this. I always describe it to a couple of my friends who are kind of my accountability, real close friends. Is it's just my mind's not right. I know my perspective on things is skewed, and the world feels funny and weird. And I try super hard when we get in here to still keep the ship afloat in the right direction. But man, guys, sometimes it just creeps out. So I hope you enjoy the podcast anyway. We talk WandaVision. We get Nikki's take on Raya and the Last Dragon.
Yeah.
Which, listen, I'm not the only one that had some negative feelings in the show.
I can have negative feelings about it because it cost me $30. Your WandaVision was just included with the price of admission.
Which just went up.
So that's different.
Okay.
I paid to have an opinion.
We talk Super Nintendo World, mask burning parties, Lucky Charms cookie dough, Rush Limbaugh, who I don't think we've ever talked about on this show before, but he stole something from us.
Yeah.
And we had to talk about it. Kanye's shoes, Call of Duty. Call of Duty actually appears twice.
Twice in there?
Mm-hmm.
What about Space Force? And then something else.
Space Force, stuffed llama heads, and something happens this weekend that's going to be disappointing for everybody.
So we can all just agree on that.
Right? So I hope you guys have a fantastic Monday.
Thank you for listening to the podcast today. As always, say hey, introduce yourselves to us. Text 877 to RadioU. Put your name and that you're a podcast listener, and maybe we can say hey to you the next podcast.
All right, sounds good.
Bye.
Bye.
The definition of insanity is putting the riot on again and again and expecting a better result. It's the worst of the riot on Radio U.
Nikki, Raya and the Last Dragon.
Raya,
whatever.
Raya and the Last Dragon. I watched it. I saw it look like it made a little over $8 million over the weekend.
Now, that would be its theatrical run.
Yeah, for box office. So they say it was very disappointing for its results. Even Tom and Jerry made more in theaters. So it was at about 2,000 theaters and did not do so well. So they haven't really talked much about how much did Disney make for people who paid $30 to have the movie early.
They probably made a killing on that.
Did they? So does that mean it doesn't matter then box office now at all?
Okay, think about this. All right, parents, and again, I don't know, maybe not, but if you just think about the pure math, normally you have to take your kids to the theater to see a movie, okay? It costs, let's say, conservatively $10 per ticket, and you've got, let's say, 2.2 kids. So you take mom, dad, kids, you're in the theater, $40 already. Haven't even started on the concessions that we're going to get the kids' meals and we're going to get so $30 for a brand new movie and they get to watch it over and over and over again.
But they're afraid that now that we're way into this, that it's still killing the theatrical run for things, because what's the next one supposed to be?
That's because
Black Widow.
It is killing
the
theatrical run.
What's going to happen with Black Widow? That was the big question. Are they going to still go with the same path like they did, with this movie?
I have not yet had a movie come along that I've paid a premium for. Didn't I Was there something?
Well, you had Wonder Woman, but that was free with your
free.
HBO Max payment.
And then...
So they're just concerned that it was such a poor release theatrically. But if you watched it at home, it was $30, and it's like every other Disney animated movie.
I'll bet you they made... I'll bet they made over $100 million.
You think so?
On the 30.
I would love to see that number. I would absolutely see that number. So with Raya, it was... It looked interesting until this one part where like the majestic dragon gets unveiled and all that stuff. And then, man, it was just like, ha-ha! Here's the dragon and here's the comedic thing. And it was just like every other movie. The writing, even though they go into it like, this is it. This is a great new sort of...
We're breaking ground. It's the kind of stuff you've never seen before for an animated feature.
Here's a smarter take on it and all that stuff. And then when you sit down and watch it, you're like, it is just a formula. And
here comes the genie.
Yes. Yes. The dragon is the genie. The genie's the dragon. There's always that character. And, and just watching it, I was just like, man, it's like every other movie. There's no change. Here it comes. And I thought it was like, oh, here comes this really deep character, like the dragon.
Yeah.
And that's not how it is. It's
Not
like
so
it's like a stand-up routine. That's all it is.
Yep.
Just a bunch of liners. So I was not as, enthralled with it. It looked good. Like the animation style looked amazing.
I'm sure it's top notch.
But that's how a lot of the stuff is. Looks good and not a lot writing.
Oh man. But you wouldn't say straight trash.
It is a little left of straight trash.
Okay, all
According
right.
to Wyatt's scale of movies.
Yeah.
Apparently he thinks Tom and Jerry, that one that came out, was straight trash. But this one, just not as bad. Recyclable or something, like not trash. But
okay. So like not in the trash bin, but in the recycling bin.
Still in the bins, just in the other one. That makes you feel better.
It sounds to me like Nikki is claiming that movie was actually made of 100% recycled material.
Yes, that's exactly it. So I felt bad because, again, you're spending all this money, and I find out now that I went to the movies more for the experience, and I enjoyed movies, I think, when at theaters because of the concessions and because of the friends.
You thought they were bad live? Well, just wait until you hear this. The Worst of the Riot podcast with Obadiah and Nikki.
Over the weekend, I just became aware of my laziness again. It was just right in front of my face. Now, I don't know how many of these events took place across the United States. I wasn't there. I don't know. But I'll tell you this much right now. I don't care enough. That's what I thought. I just saw the photo and I was like, but it set me on this course of like, do I care enough about anything? It was like, nah, not really. I'm good. There were people having mask burning parties.
Oh, there was?
Did you see this?
I didn't see that at all.
Okay, there were photos and I put it in the show notes there if you click the link of some people having mask burning parties. So they gathered around, trash barrels. And they were burning masks because, they're free of the blue mask oppression.
What people appreciated was it looked like they had to buy the masks in bulk because it's just the standard blue ones that people use, the disposable ones.
Yep.
And I do appreciate when people have and this is every side, but when people have a lot of protest about something, I just always encourage the camera person to pan back, like just go back.
How many people are actually there? They're always close.
How many people are there? It's always like 10 people, but they make it seem like 1,000. So really, it was a small event, it looks like.
Fives of people gathered to burn their masks over the weekend.
Every time people gather for something, it's never as many as you think it is.
I just love, like, everybody's got this. They're like excited. You see parents that are proud of the kids that are burning the masks. And again, like, it's fine, but I just don't care enough. Like, yeah, but aren't you mad about it? No. But no.
You're a real American who just don't care enough.
Yeah, that's right. I just stayed home and watched WandaVision.
There it is. That's all you have to do.
That's the problem with people like you. Yep. You don't even know. Like, it's real. But I haven't burned. Have you ever burned anything?
No. like outside of a nice fire.
Right.
I mean, set up like for
burned
s'mores.
in protest or anger or whatever, like you burn something?
No, I don't think so.
Nope, never done it. What is it, too, with us as people and burning? It's like all of a sudden we don't like something. We're like, burn it!
Well, you're trying to make a statement. That seems to be the strongest statement, the fastest way.
You guys need a podcast. Just get a podcast. You'll get it out. All right? You get out. All this stuff you feel like you need to say, you're going to get it out.
Is that why we don't feel the need for anything, too? Because we have it all out?
It is. We sit in here, we get it all out, and then when we leave, we're like, what do you want to burn something for? Just
does that seem like too much effort?
Listen, I'll tell you what.
Or even get the barrel for it.
If you want to burn something, would you mind just stop by my house, start a fire in the fireplace?
Yes, thank you. Thanks for mentioning that.
But you know what? Look, they've got a barrel they're burning stuff in, so this isn't any different. Just stop by and I'll tell you what'll make you feel better. I got an axe there. It's got a splitter head on it. Why don't you go ahead and chop some wood?
That's perfect.
And then set it on fire.
Can't you, don't people at the end of the season, clear leaves and stuff? You can take the landscaping, just burn that, and then you're actually helping Obi out.
Yeah, that'd be great. So I'll tell you what, if you just want to reach out, stop by. I'm going to get you all set. I'll tell you what, too. You don't have to wear a mask. Just go ahead and
the fire will be fine.
It'll be fine.
But only at his place.
It's kind of the same thing, right? Right?
Well, I think this happens also a lot, too, where, you get a small event like we mentioned. Not a lot of people actually doing something. It's just the thing. But then the real thing happens when it's just Twitter and it's both sides going back at each other.
Yeah.
That's what's really trending.
That's the real dumpster fire.
Yeah, the real event was small enough that if you just wouldn't have paid attention.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you this. I didn't burn anything this weekend. Time, maybe.
This is RadioU's Worst of the Riot.
In the middle of all this nonsense, let's talk about something that makes you happy. Let's talk about Mario.
Yeah, let's do that.
He's a good guy. Please, nobody do an in-depth. Don't dig anything up on him, okay?
I think you're okay. He's not real. There's not really a storyline about him.
Makes it even worse. So here's what I got for you, okay? So first off, today's March 8th, but Wednesday's March 10th, so that makes it Mario Day.
On Wednesday?
Mar 10. Mario. That's what they do every year. So I'll say this. If you've been holding out on a piece of Mario, something that you wanted to buy, Nintendo almost never puts anything on sale. But this week they'll throw you a bone for Mario Day.
So on Wednesday you'll get something.
You could save as much as 50 cents on that $60 Mario purchase.
It's Monday and it's because we're coming back from the weekend, but nothing feels good, every day.
It's me though, isn't it?
I don't know.
I'm sorry.
It's true though. What you're saying on all these things are absolutely true. Nintendo will only give you maybe $3 or $4 off, and you have to be thankful about it. But it's we're just angry.
I'm sorry. It's me. I'll tell you, we're going to change we're changing the tone. Are you ready? We're changing the tone right now. But in the middle of all this, they also announced that next week, actually it's 10 days from today, March 18th, that Super Nintendo World is opening in Japan.
Oh, it is going to open then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So it was supposed to open back in February, and they're like, nah.
Wasn't it supposed to open even, was it last year too? Or is it that late?
I actually don't think so.
Was it always February?
I think that's true. So they say it is now going to open for sure. And of course, with the masks and limited visitors and all that stuff and blah, blah, blah. But
and you have to be in Japan. It's not like that's an easy travel.
Yeah. So you know what? You're actually right. It says that it was supposed to open summer of 2020.
Yeah.
Because it was going to open along with the Olympics.
Yeah.
And then it was going to be February of 2021. Then it was indefinitely. And now they're saying March 18th, which gives them 10 days to not cancel.
not push cancel, it anymore.
But get excited about it.
Yeah, Super Mario World looks neat. It's at Universal in
Japan.
In Japan. It's not in Tokyo. I think it's outside.
Osaka.
Yeah, so it looks really cool, but, it's not here yet.
No, but, Nikki and I, our international travel keeps getting postponed, but I do think we should go there.
Well, what was it? Thursday or Friday, they announced that the Mario World for Orlando's Universal Studios will be in 2025.
Yes, that's
plenty of time for things to be back to normal by then.
Just
it'll take that long.
You Using advanced technology, we've digitized and transcoded Obadiah and Nikki into a purely digital format. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
So here I am reading Newsweek again, like I do. No, it's actually an interesting editorial that has pulled together a few interviews talking about what do we do this summer / next fall when it's time to, like, when we get to that place where the pandemic is mostly over.
Yeah.
Which will happen. I feel like there's part of me that's like, no, it'll never be the way it was. And it's like, nah, sorry. Life will go back to a semblance of quote unquote normal, even though we think it won't. It will. And so they're talking about going back to work. So would you rather work from home or not? So David Solomon, he's the CEO of Goldman Sachs. He told a press conference over the weekend that one of the biggest concerns they have is that younger employees do not get mentored by older employees because they're not in the same space.
Sure.
And let's see, who is this? PwC, I don't even know what that company is, said that one of the issues they have is they can't maintain a company culture by having that. Now, the other side of it is that they say that efficiency was up this year, like higher than ever. And that's because you were able to be at work all day, every day.
Yeah, so that has its own negative side to it.
Mm-hmm.
Or you figured out how to make it look like you're at work all day. But I was talking to someone who was working from home now, too, and they felt like it was bad because they didn't know them as well. Like there was no connection between
people. Yeah,
between them and like their management. So like say something came up and it's time to go through and like unfortunately fire some people. There's no connection. Like they don't really know you and they don't know like your strengths and how you really are an asset to the company. And so, you could get fired when maybe it would have been helpful if there was more of a connection.
Yeah, I mean, for people like me who get very little work done, but we had a lot of spark to the place.
But when you're not at this place.
It makes that skill set worthless. Just like,
and that is for some people a part of their job in the culture of being at work.
Yeah. So that's fine, but it's fine. I'll say this: I've done a lot of working from home over the last 3 months. Don't like it.
No more.
Okay, maybe at the very least the half day.
Sure.
Okay, come in for a while, connect with people, go home. The idea of just whatever. I've got a friend of mine. She has gone from, like everybody else, got to go to work all day, every day. And now they're saying next year, like, because she's in education, they're like, we have already given your offices away and probably just going to have you work from home.
Forever. And you're like, well, again, that gets old real quick. Andy made a good point. You need the human contact. He's worked at home for 7 years and good at first, but it gets old.
Yeah.
Which is why I think a lot of places, if they go into a hybrid of certain days or more flexibility with it, but still some at work, some at home, that might be how a lot of companies have to do that soon.
Yeah, I actually think whether it's, a couple day a week model or like a half day thing, there is a lot of great stuff about working from home. Like there are elements of it that were fantastic, but man, I'll tell you what, after a while, it was like, hello?
Listening to the Worst of the Riot is the equivalent of standing in line at the BMV. Ugh. Worst of the Riot. RadioU.
You know what? I give up, guys. I just give up. I'm going to be fat and happy. That's just like the other thing that I was trying before. It's not that it wasn't good and that it wouldn't work, but the opposition that I feel like is waiting for me at every turn.
When you are trying to lose weight?
Yeah. So, let's just be happy. Let's just get some Lucky Charms cookie dough and bake some cookies.
Yes. And let's not feel bad about it. There's no guilt that we need to have with that.
That's exactly what I'm saying, Nikki. That's why I'm just kind of advocating someone's going to come out and say, well, can't you just take a balanced approach?
Oh, no.
Listen, they've declared all-out war on thinness, okay? And I, for one, am a casualty of this war. This is literally Pillsbury cookie dough, sugar cookie dough, that they are dropping Lucky Charms marshmallows into.
So it's a limited edition Lucky Charms sugar cookie dough cereal with marshmallow bits, and that is apparently out there.
It's out there, Nikki.
It is. So you can have the cereal, and then people were just, making things with it. It just looks delicious. So it is. I don't know. Maybe you can warm it up or something, but it is. It's an eat or bake.
It's
cereal.
cookie dough.
Yeah. Oh, it is. Oh, I thought it was cereal.
No. It's cookie dough.
Oh, they have this big bowl of cereal next to it. So,
right.
Well, that makes more sense. Okay, so it's the take and bake sort of.
Exactly.
The cookie dough that's already in the package.
Right.
That makes more sense now. I'm like, I guess we can heat up cereal. We can do that.
So think about it. What's the worst thing about Lucky Charms? The cat litter in between the marshmallows. They're replacing the cat litter with sugar cookie dough.
And then you bake it and you can have it.
Shut up.
So it does look like you can eat the cookie dough without baking it, though. It does have that on the top.
Again.
No one needs to make you feel bad if you're not even baking it.
What's up, Tubbs? Fist bump.
Oh, we're not.
Sorry.
No.
Too hard to lift your arm. That's all right.
We're not doing that. So you can have the Lucky Charms limited edition from Pillsbury. It's cookie dough. It's not breakfast cereal. It's cookie dough.
It looks so good.
Yes, it does.
But it is. You know what, Nikki? What if we see what you just did? How you just judged and categorized this item of food? Maybe we should start seeing it as breakfast. Like, what do you have for breakfast? I eat about half a package of cookie dough.
Well, what if we...
Just a cup of coffee. It's good.
It's all about how you phrase things. What if we call it overnight cookie dough? Like overnight oats? So, like...
You let it sit out and get warm?
Yeah,
Is that
or
what you're
just
saying?
put it in a mason jar and, pretend like it's the overnight oats, like a quick thing, and make you feel healthier.
Yeah.
This, you just put in the jar, and then you bring to work or class.
Yeah.
And then they're like, what are you having? You're like, well, it's my overnight.
Yeah. Well, and it's one of those things where, again, like if you got time, you can have it warm. But if you don't, take it on the go.
They're saying this probably will be around until Easter. So it is a limited edition cookie dough.
Yeah, for now. I actually feel like I thought about this for a while last night when I was reading about it. I think it might actually be Pillsbury and Lucky Charms coming together to unveil their master plan. We just don't know it yet. Their plan is to give the entire world type 2 diabetes. And then when we are unable to lift our arms any longer in protest, they put the screws to us and conquer the world.
That's what ushers that in.
I mean, to be honest, my thought about it is a lot longer, but I don't want to get into it here. I don't want you guys to know how much I thought about it.
You have this all planned out.
Yeah, so shh.
If you're looking for all the funny moments you missed during the riot, we apologize. You won't find them here. There weren't any. This is the worst of the Riot podcast.
Nikki, you know who Rush Limbaugh is, right?
Yes, he's the one who passed away.
He is.
Recently, but the conservative talk show host guy. Yes, okay.
He died February 17th. He was 70. He had been having a battle with cancer. He actually had a bunch of health issues there in his last 10 years. I wasn't necessarily a big fan of Rush Limbaugh, but it was one of those things where every once in a while I'd poke in and listen to the guy because love him or hate him, he was a very good personality. And I say that because in radio, if we can get a talent, a personality that people have an opinion about, that means they're a good personality.
Doesn't mean it
Doesn't
could be
mean
bad.
You like them.
It could be you hate them or love them, but at least you got a reaction out of a person, and that means you drew that out of someone.
Right. The very fact that you have an opinion about them tells us that on some level they are connecting with you and connecting with the audience, even if it's a negative connection. Well, I've got bad news for Nikki and I, who have really, really been trying hard to be better than Rush Limbaugh. That's what we wanted to be. And in fact, not just him, but everybody. We wanted to be the best radio people ever. But Rush Limbaugh's death certificate has just been made public, and his occupation as listed on the death certificate is greatest radio host of all time.
Oh, you put that on there? Well, now you can't contest that. We're different styles. We're not the same
legal
style.
Document.
We're not the style as him, though.
No,
we can still be in our own category.
We really aren't. Oh, You know what that means?
Well, I didn't say a worse category, just a different one.
No, a different category, which means that we're the number one comedy in the United States this weekend.
Listen, we have
in Sheboygan.
We've got the music to prop us up. Wasn't he just only talk? Like they didn't have breaks, probably except for commercials.
Actually, just commercials. If you've never listened to talk radio, it's fascinating. I mean, if you guys think the RIOT talks for a long time, oh my gosh. Not even close. They just go on and on and on.
I mean, it's like watching news. I mean, how do you just make something like that out of, you got one story and you got to make 4 or 5 hours out of it?
You know what? I could do it.
Yeah, I bet.
I could. Ask Chris. Like, it's a long story, but when we used to do The Most Wanted on TVU, Chris would be like, hey, we got 5 minutes at the end of the show. We're out of stuff. I just need you to talk for 5 minutes. I'd be like, okay. So one time I was born, and then after that was
lots of story times.
Yeah. So I mean, I guess, but yeah,
that's on his death certificate.
Yes. Now they're saying that it was probably his wife put that because I guess you fill it out, and under occupation she would have written greatest radio host of all time.
Oh, well, that's sweet then.
It is sweet, but again. He's turning the knife, Nikki. Like, that's what we were going to have. And now
we can't have anything at all.
From beyond the grave, Rush Limbaugh is belittling us. Who does he think he is?
So if one of us goes first, like way down the road, not anytime soon.
Right.
We can't do that on our own death certificate. We'd forget, honestly, to fill it in. So I don't even I think that's more our style.
What if, okay, let's say, how would we, like, greatest male RIOT host on RadioU of the time he was alive.
Lots of qualifiers there. Lots of qualifiers.
Listen, qualifiers are important.
They are. It's what allows you to have the award in the first place.
Adjectives are powerful.
Yeah. Well,
they can be.
That works. If you want just to write it down, just maybe email me and I'll save it. So then when the time comes, I know what to put.
You know what, Nikki? That's not what I want on my death certificate. When it comes time for you to fill out my death certificate and it says what my occupation was, I just want you to write friend.
Aww.
We would give the RIOT flowers to show our appreciation, but Obadiah's probably allergic. What isn't he allergic to? This is the RIOT on RadioU.
Feel free to text or call or whatever, just like this person did, whose name I do not know, but they were asking about the Pacific Rim anime that took place over the weekend.
Yeah, that came out on Friday.
Pacific Rim the Black says, thought it was fire, love the backstory and hidden plot. So I liked it. Now, I didn't finish it. I watched 2 episodes of it out of what I believe to be 8 episodes.
Pretty good.
Well, I mean, that gives me time to
You're
watch
never going to go
more.
back.
Yeah, I will, actually.
You sure?
I think you'll be surprised that I'm interested enough to go back and check it out. It is not... Okay, if you don't know what Pacific Rim is, it was the movie like 8 years ago about the giant robots.
There was 2. And
they made 2 of them.
Is it Guillermo
del Toro did the first one.
Yeah.
The second one was...
somebody else.
Mm-hmm. And now there's this anime.
Is it the Kaiju?
The Kaiju.
Yeah.
And the Jaegers.
Jaegers.
So
okay.
Jaeger is German for hunter, and that's what the big robots are.
Yeah.
And the Kaiju are the monsters. That's Japanese for monster. And so they came out of a dimensional rift or something. And so,
like every other story we hear.
Monsters and dimensional rifts, right?
Oh my gosh, it's so much.
And they're done that.
Or monsters.
Yeah. So what they're saying is that that's probably in our future somewhere. And it happened in Australia, too. It wasn't just in the United States or just in Japan. So that's where this story is set. It feels like a standalone story, but there are some tie-ins. But
the anime?
Yes. The anime is set in Australia, and it's about a brother and sister, and et cetera, et cetera. It has a lot more what I would call human drama in it than action, but I still thought it was well done.
I feel like with anime, though, you need to have a little bit more of that to make the story work.
Well, and you got to drag it out. Can't be 2 hours of monsters fighting, even though that's what we all want. They would argue, no, it's not what you want. It's what you think you want.
But it seemed pretty good, the 2 episodes you watched.
I enjoyed it. I liked the style of the animation. It is, there's probably a word for it. I don't know. It is a mixture of kind of like 3D animated, like computer tech. I think some of it might be hand drawn. I thought it looked really good. So, I liked what I saw.
So,
I'm going to watch more of it.
Where are we at now? We have, is it next week, the Snyder Cut? Do we have anything this week that comes out?
I don't think so.
Is this a break week?
I think we catch up this week.
Yeah, like when does the all the other stuff come?
Snyder Cut is next, and we're talking about the Justice League Snyder Cut. That comes out on next Thursday.
Next Thursday, the 18th?
Yeah.
And then the week after or around that is the King Kong Godzilla one.
It's 2 weeks after.
2 weeks after.
Yeah. In fact, I think that either hits the week after on the 26th. I thought it came out on the 31st, but that's a Wednesday.
Doesn't feel like the right day to put that out.
It doesn't feel like that's the day they would do that. But
that's going to be March 25th.
Oh, it is a week later. That means we're less than 2 weeks away.
You're going to have back-to-back stuff. Back-to-back stuff you like. But I felt like there was something else. We're missing one thing.
March 25th, we're headed right into Easter weekend. We're talking about Cadbury cream eggs and monsters. Come on.
Oh, my goodness.
No, are you thinking about Mortal Kombat? That's like mid-April.
No, there's something else, too.
Coming to America, too?
No, that's not it.
Back in America?
Back in America. People were not kind to that movie, which also was out over the weekend.
I don't know. Like what? I mean, I'm watching For All Mankind every week, Nikki.
Well, there's the Winter Soldier show.
Oh, yeah, Falcon and Winter Soldier. And that hits, I think that's the one that hits, in 2 weeks? On the 19th.
Anyways, weekends are going to be busy.
But we got nothing this week still.
I just want to know if this was what's that term when it's a
bye week.
It's a bye week. So we can all get laundry done and, catch up on some chores and then we'll be all ready for the week after.
Good call, Nikki.
Worst of the Riot podcast.
Nikki, I want you, just don't hold back.
Mm-hmm.
You tell me if you think more highly, the same, or less of Space Force when I tell you that Space Force won a Call of Duty competition over the weekend.
Space Force as in, is that the name of a random team or is that actually members of Space Force? They have their own Call of Duty team?
And Space Force ain't got no randos.
Well, no, you know what I mean. Like, was there already a team named that before Space Force happened?
No, well, there probably was. But I'm talking about the United States Space Force had a Call of Duty team that went into the Code Bowl, the Call of Duty Endowment Bowl. So what happens is they play and the winning team, I don't know if they get to say where the funds go, but they're basically money goes to a charity.
Oh, okay. And it's their charity of choice.
Yeah, I don't know that that's true. I know that in this case, the money went towards a veterans association to help veterans get some of the things they need after discharge. So what I don't know is did they choose that or would it have gone to that anyway? I don't know.
And Space Force beat the newest branch, defeated the UK's Royal Air Force. So they had one in the final round. So I guess it's fine. It seems like there was other military things there.
I get it.
Does that bother you?
No. Here's the part that gets me is just that in a world where I feel like most people don't take Space Force too seriously because it sounds like it came out of Call of Duty.
Yeah.
When you tell me like, dude, Space Force won Call of Duty over the weekend, it's like, yep, that's exactly what I thought.
Not too surprised.
It's just a bunch of people hanging out playing Xbox. That's what Space Force says to me.
I see.
And to be clear, I totally want to join.
So the tournament, okay, so it wasn't like this tournament was just teams, like you had to be basically, I think, military.
Yeah.
So it was Space Force, Air Force, Army, Navy, Marine Corps, and then the UK had the Royal Navy, Royal Air Force, and Royal Marines. So they were all playing together.
Yeah. So they're all playing Call of Duty, and it's fine. It's fun. There's nothing wrong with this. Everybody does it. But I'm just telling you.
Aren't you excited? Space Force really showed up to the event then.
Well, I'll tell you this. Last night, there was some spontaneous USA chants that were happening around my house. But I just, you know, it's funny. I feel like if I had come in here and I had said, USA, USA, and I had like really gone full jingoism on us winning the Call of Duty tournament, you would be looking at me going, you know, should we be
so
celebrating?
excited?
So what I feel like is happening is I feel like you and I have switched chairs.
No, I would have been more weirded out by it because at first I thought the Call of Duty tournament was for just anyone to join. But because it was just all branches and stuff, that's fine.
Okay. Nikki's just like, ain't
good
no
for
thing.
them. It's good you show up early. I mean, you're new.
It's true.
And now you win.
Everybody's like,
the big
listen,
tournament.
Nobody wanted to take us seriously, but we just pwned y'all noobs.
I don't know if this helps really if people take it seriously, but congratulations to them.
Hey, you know what? Good. USA. USA.
And good on you.
USA.
You're always so good at chanting.
USA.
How to survive the riot. Do the complete opposite of everything they say. You're listening to The Riot on RadioU.
USA. USA. Now listen. We
Is
have
this something new?
established. Yes, it is. Pay attention, Nikki, because you're going to see how this all ties in together.
Okay.
United States Space Force beats the Royal Air Force in a Call of Duty tournament over the weekend, okay? But lo and behold, it's not the only piece of Call of Duty news that's in the news. So you've got another gentleman from the UK who escaped from prison, which, awesome. I didn't even think you could do that now. I thought escaping from prison was something that they stopped doing in I don't know, the late 50s, early 60s. There was just no way you could get out. But I'm totally wrong because this guy totally did. Now, his story is only just now being told, but he ended up getting caught January 13th. So he's back in prison now, right? But how did they catch him? Well, the UK was under some really strict lockdown.
Oh, and did he go out?
He went out. Why did he go out?
It's the Call of Duty?
To buy Call of Duty.
Oh, really? Aww.
So, okay, he's going to the store to get Call of Duty, and he's with a friend, and the police are out, and they're like, hey,
you shouldn't be out.
There's a curfew in effect. You can't be out. You've got to go home. And he was like, listen, I can't go into lockdown without the new Call of Duty. And the police were like, okay, well, let's see your IDs. And then he kicked him in an unfortunate location.
Said that he assaulted the two police officers that were talking to him, and then he tried to run and get away.
So he eventually gets caught, and he ends up back in prison. And you're like, Obadiah, aside from Call of Duty, what's the connection? I'll tell you exactly what it is. This guy's comeback story is this. The Royal Air Force loses to Space Force, right? So I'm the head of the Air Marshal, whatever the heck you are, to be the head of the Royal Air Force. I see this story and go, okay, we need this guy. You go into the prison and you meet with him like, all right, look, you know what? You got to spend another 20 years in prison, or you can join us, the Royal Air Force, and you can join our Call of Duty team. We need somebody with your kind of spunk and your kind of attitude. And so his parole / working off his prison sentence is that he joins the Royal Air Force Call of Duty team, where he leads them to victory over Space Force.
I don't know, though. He didn't do so well when he tried this in real life.
Nikki, that's because all the skills are virtual.
So he escaped what's called Spring Hill Open Prison last year in November. He was serving a 17-year extended sentence for crimes for robbery and firearms. So he had been out since November 28th, and he'd been wanted since then.
Yeah, he escaped from prison.
He'd been out for a few months then at that point.
Nikki, this is a guy, one, with initiative. Okay? Look at that. He escaped from prison. That's impressive. And two, he's got passion.
Because he knows what he wants.
He wanted Call of Duty.
And he's
out there doing what he has to do to get it. So
actually, there's a lesson here. They said that the police stopped them because when they were looking at them, the two guys had changed directions. Pretty obvious. So they didn't want to walk.
The police?
Yeah, they didn't want to be talking to the police or get picked up or noticed by them. So because they changed directions, then the police became suspicious as to hey, why are you guys running from us? And instead of just walking by we didn't do anything. So that's why they got picked up. Don't
look suspicious. Also, Amazon UK's got 2-day. All right. Just
why are you going out?
This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Nikki, we all should have grown up to be Kanye West. We should have. And you're like, well, but listen, we should have. Because here's why. You can talk about his personal life and maybe his problems and whatever. But over the weekend, the Yeezy 450 went on sale.
Yeah.
That's a shoe.
Yeah.
The Yeezy 450, it's sold out in less than 60 seconds.
Whoa, that's fast. Oh, so it's his Adidas footwear line and took 60 seconds, 1 minute to sell out in cloud white. That was the first time.
So they are $200 a pair on, like, just at the first crack there. But now
sure,
that they're online and other people have them, they are being resold for $800 to $1,000.
I will say they look better on someone, but when you look at just the picture of the shoe, it is one interesting looking shoe. On someone better, off someone terrible looking.
Yeah, I mean it.
But that's how a lot of shoes can be that way.
If you look at him, he wore them at Paris Fashion Week last year, and we all remember that. And I think this is the first time they've been available at retail. Maybe that's not true. Maybe they just do it every once in a while. But I can tell you this, the shoes are now in the wild and so expensive, which is, again, why I really should have just been Kanye, you know? I mean, we both have off-kilter names, you know, it's like...
You really could have done this, right?
We both talk a lot.
Would this have been your vision? This wouldn't have been. You don't do fashion stuff.
No, but I should. That's what I'm saying. You see what I'm saying is that I
you wish you would have grown up with that.
I should have gotten into the hip hop game, started my fashion stuff early, and married a Kardashian. And then you're like, oh, there are just these steps that you take, and then your shoes sell out in 60 seconds.
So the new one sold out, and now they're being resold for about $800.
Yeah, wow. So, you know what? If you want some Yeezys, how much money do you have? And then would you even be willing to wear them? This picture of Kanye wearing them out in the wild, it's raining, and I'm just like, what are you doing?
Why are you wearing your shoes out in the rain?
You're getting your own shoes wet. Do you know what they're worth?
But again, that was back last year when everybody was just making fun of them but not buying them.
It's true.
You got to put a bag around them.
And then you sell the Yeezy bag.
Well, they have those. I mean, there's plenty of the bags that you put around your shoes to protect them if you want to wear them out. But rain, that's
a no. I mean,
that's bold right there.
When it rains, you stay home.
I know.
Or you go barefoot. Because the last thing you want to do is risk, damaging.
But even back then, Kanye, I'm sure, had plenty of his own shoes. So we just can't buy them, but he has plenty if he needs them.
Man, I can't even buy my Pumas.
I
got a specific Puma.
You like to make sure that your shoes last as long as possible because you really break those things in.
See, Nikki, and if we take that
approach,
and we take that into the shoe world, I could be a billionaire right now.
Things are never as bad as they seem, except when it comes to the riot. Then they're worse. They're always worse. It's the Riot on RadioU.
Hey, Nikki, did you get your issue of BMW Owners News yet?
I did not. As a non-BMW owner, I don't think we get that.
Nikki just doesn't want you to know.
No, I wouldn't mind a BMW, but no, I don't have that.
A couple of months ago, Nikki and I got BMWs. And
surprise! No.
You know what's even funnier is we didn't even pay for them. BMW is just we want celebrities of your caliber to be seen in our vehicle.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah.
I didn't know why we got them, but so okay, we get is there a newsletter that goes out for if you own a BMW or
a newsletter? What is this? A zine? No, it's a magazine.
Oh, it's a magazine.
Full color, all of that. I mean, see again how Nikki plays like she doesn't know. I didn't see it. Wow, look at that.
What magazine?
But Nikki, I just want to say a huge congratulations to Stacy Papenchak. What's up, Stacy? Girl, you know how good job out there. She won the Female High Mileage Award. She rode over 18,000 miles on her BMW motorcycle, and she registered with the magazine, and she won.
She won. What do you get?
I put in the magazine.
Okay, and so what did she do again?
She rode her motorcycle for more than 18,000 miles last year.
18,000? Oh, in a year. Okay, I gotcha.
Yeah. So during the pandemic, she just went out there.
Where was she going?
Out. Where'd all those motorcycle people go?
Must be going for some rides, enjoying the outdoors when you could.
You get together and you take a ride.
Yeah,
which is that. She says, I'd really like to inspire more females to ride because there are not a lot of female riders out there. Mm-hmm. She said she often shows up to the gatherings, and she's the only female rider.
Only one, all for the BMW motorcycle gathering groups.
Yeah, and so she's ridden all the way. She's from Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
She's ridden to California, Smoky Mountains, Nova Scotia, and Germany.
I guess.
Did she ship her bike over there? Do you rent? I don't know, but she's gone over 18,000 miles, and look at that, 2 continents.
Good for her, and so she gets to be in the magazine.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'll tell you, I've traveled probably between 15 and 18,000 miles last year, and it was back and forth to the studio. So, like,
low miles right there, guys.
But to be clear, 2 counties.
Well, I think everybody else, you try to keep your miles low. So we're not out there just riding, but that's your cars. If you had a motorcycle, that's the whole point of that.
No.
Yeah.
What you just said right there, what you just said, that's how Eric ended up in surgery.
Well, Eric had a motorcycle, yes.
And a motorcycle accident.
Yes, that is true.
What you just said right there.
I'm not saying I want another one, but I'm just saying that we are not in that world. So we're in the other world where you're like, can I drive anymore? Or am I going to go over my miles? You know, like that's usually what a lot of people are more afraid of.
Well, you know, it's that or go crazy in the basement. Your choice.
Just put your motorcycle in the basement.
Perfect. Just the perfect solution.
Get on it and feel like you're riding around. Put it in front of your TV and with a fan on. Just be nice. You do that in your garage and you're not putting miles on things and you're being safer.
You're safe.
Yeah. You don't have to pay for gas. So great.
I mean, just the electricity of the fan that's blowing on you.
Yeah,
but
true.
You know what? It's
okay. They're like, why is he always on his motorcycle, but he never rides anywhere?
Shh, don't.
And you're safe. You don't have to worry about having an accident.
Yeah.
Trust me, that's expensive, guys. No matter what you do, accident-wise on a motorcycle is very expensive.
No, that's why. It's part of why I don't have one. My dad's got a motorcycle, and when Goose got one, then Eric got one, and I was like, man, why don't I just do this?
I want a motorcycle, too.
And then I was like, hey, remember all that reconstructive surgery you had to have from a skateboard, and now you want to get a motorcycle?
Nope. So glad on her for putting on 18,000 miles for the year, but we're too afraid and don't want to pay for it.
She's better than me, and I can accept that.
The RIOT Podcast. RadioU.
I don't want to go dark this morning, okay? I don't want anybody to feel like the RIOT is not a safe, encouraging place. But I am going to share some news with you that may make you feel less safe and less encouraged.
What's the news? I'm afraid to ask.
You know what happens this weekend?
This weekend or what happened this past weekend?
This upcoming weekend. Do you know what is out in front of you right now?
What is it?
You ready?
Yeah.
Spring.
Oh, no.
Forward.
Oh, no. That's this weekend?
This weekend, Nikki.
I'm not prepared. I'm not ready yet.
Well, you have a week to get ready.
Oh, I thought that was later.
They're going to take it away from you. They're going to take your hour.
No.
They'll take it from you.
No.
So you know how, like, this morning you got up and you were tired?
Yeah.
Imagine it being so much worse.
Oh, it's going to be terrible. I have noticed it's been a lot lighter later on in the day. Oh, man, that's this weekend?
Yep.
All right. Remain positive. It's fine. Okay. Everybody just wants, more light. Stay up. Yay.
You know what, Nikki? How about this? Let's
I can
not
stay
even.
out and play later, right?
Yes, you can.
Because it'll be lighter.
Yes, you can.
Oh, man, I hate when we do that.
Let me just put it to you this way, okay? Like, you're, it's great.
Is that it? Was that your motivational talk towards it?
Yeah.
All right, you know what? Now I'm
That's
ready.
the big one.
I wasn't prepared, but we just have to go through it and be positive. But yeah, remember then, set a reminder for Saturday night that we will be losing an hour.
So great.
So excited.
So
Yay.
great. Right?
Oh, I can't wait till next Sunday and Monday. Yay.
Oh, man.
And you're like, what's the big deal? We get up so early. It's horrible. It's absolutely horrible. It's not great for our line of work.
Are you wanting us to put the positive spin on it? Because there isn't one.
What? Not in this case.
Yeah.
Aww.
I will say I noticed yesterday I was getting up and it was, I want to say it was about 7:15 and I was starting to see the first peaks of sunrise and I was like, this is great. And now it's like Nikki and I will not see the sun again before work until the middle of June. And that is like in the middle of June, we get to a point where at about 5:55, the sky will start to turn a lighter shade of blue. And then the days start getting shorter again.
But it'll be lighter until like 10:30 at night, which is awful for us because you feel like you have to go to bed and it's still light out. It's really hard to do it.
How much longer we got on this? How much longer can we do this?
When will someone get to our government and change all this?
Come on, somebody. I'm telling you right now, if you want elected, that's the way.
Oh,
it is the backdoor method that nobody takes seriously. They're like, economy, or this or that. How about change the time thing? You're in.
Well, there's a couple of states that don't do it. And everybody talks about this was something from way before like our parents were even born. Like it was just something for back in the day and we don't need to do it anymore.
I don't need it.
We don't need a time change, but until someone changes it, you must lose an hour this weekend.
Man, between the time change and the fluoride, y'all are docile.
I feel like everybody's still angry about this one. We just can't do anything about it.
We can.
We can't. We just have to follow it and do the time change.
116.
Did you hit the table?
What?
Did you hit the table?
No.
We're not supposed
You're
to hit
just imagining it. You're just imagining that happen. You know what that is?
All a bad dream.
That's your own rage about the time change coming out.
Not hit the table.
Okay, Mom.
Gosh.
You know what's next? Don't eat the paste.
If I have to say it,
don't run with scissors.
Then I'll say it too. I'll just add that all to it.
Are people really still listening to the Riot? You don't have work to do or laundry to fold or literally anything else to do? The Riot, Radio U.
I saw something this weekend that really bothered me, and I keep thinking about it. And it was at Target, and you're like, oh, did you find one of the Targets where they don't have popcorn? Yeah, I found one of those.
I thought you said the popcorn's all gone anyways, or did they bring it back?
No, the Target I was at on Saturday had popcorn.
Oh.
And I almost bought some, and then I was like, no, just don't. Just don't get it. Because I had already promised myself something from the Panda Express across the street.
So you didn't want to spoil your food?
Didn't want to spoil the Panda. You know how it is. That's me.
I think you could have had room for popcorn and Panda.
It's
the two important peas in our life.
It's true. I mean, by the time I got out of there, it could have been a thing. But so anyway, at Target, I'm wandering through all these different things. And then somehow I end up in this aisle. I always check Target clearance. They put some great stuff on clearance. I'm not going to lie to you. Like I have bought, I bought just all kinds of electronics and like goofy stuff in their clearance racks. But I found these stuffed llama heads.
Yeah.
They were on clearance, which gave me hope.
Are they stuffed animal llama heads or not like?
I mean, they weren't a real dead llama head.
It's not a real llama. I just want to make sure. I didn't know what we could sell. Don't know.
So, I mean, they were 50% off, but there was just something really creepy about like, here is, like, if I'm going to buy a stuffed llama, give me the whole thing, you know? Like, I want a whole llama. Give me the unicorn llama. It's fun. And, it's flirty.
You mean the whole body? You don't just want the head?
This was a llama head. It wasn't big enough to be a pillow. Yeah. It wasn't small enough to look like they had just lopped the head off of a toy llama. It was somewhere in between.
So I have, if you do hunt, you can have the animal heads like on a frame or whatever. I have one of those, but it's a stuffed animal. So it's kind of like my take on let's not have the bear head that's real, but instead it's a stuffed animal bear.
So you killed a stuffed animal and mounted its head.
It was fine with it. Is it like that? Is it supposed to mimic like just and then you put that on the wall and it just stays there?
To be clear, I think you could do that very easily.
Yeah.
Like it seemed like maybe they were headed in that direction and just stopped. And they're like, you know what? Just go ahead and sew that part off. Just stop it right there.
Someone made a mistake and then they're like, just sell it and just put in the clearance section.
People will buy it.
It looks springish, doesn't it?
Man, it was rough. Like it was almost as scary as I went back to the collector's aisle. Yeah. And I saw this guy. He hadn't shaved. He's wearing a hat. And he's got like athleisure pants on. And I'm like, look at this loser. And then I looked down. Yeah. And I was wearing athleisure pants. and I hadn't shaved.
That's you.
And I was wearing a hat, and I was like, they've installed a mirror in the collector's aisle.
It's me.
What is going on?
Well, sometimes things are just not designed for you and your home decor needs.
That's right. And it was fine. It was fine. So, man, great times at Target. Just be ready to have nightmares when you go home. It's fine.
The worst of the riot is over, but the fun can keep going.
Hey, I saw you checking out my goods.
Check the Riot blog or stalk us on social media.
You want to sample them? A little try before you buy, huh?
Through riot.radiou.com.
Boy, I'm on the wrong side of history on this whole squirrel thing.